Yeah. And there are times when I become uncertain and my feet become unsteady in this journey of life. And I can't sometimes find myself. And then I have to anchor myself and look in that mirror. Hello and welcome. This is what the stories say. I tell our family histories, our whispered stories, our long lost and sometimes forgotten traditions. And like we say in the village of Buxton, Guyana, what the story say, I come in, sit down, loud talk story. I'm a little tired. This allergies doing a business on my eye. I had to get eye drops. It's kind of bothering me right now. But I don't want to wear the glasses because the light's going to be reflected in here. You see, my background is different. I am sitting on a bed in a hotel. Why? I have a little bit of staycation, but not really because I wanted to just relax. Tomorrow morning, very early, I'm going to the hospital. Well, actually, I'm going to the other campus of our school where the clinics come and you get your complete workup head to toe for your physical checkup. So they'll be poking me eye, me ear, me arm, every way to check me out. And so I'm hoping for the best results for my health check. So that's what I'm doing. So this nice background here is the hotel. Why I do? Let me tell you a run time. Lots of people watch this show. I discovered when I went into the stats that 44,000 people engaged with this channel and this program last week, and only 4,000 people following. My people, what do they do? Thank you. Press the button that says follow. You can friend me on Facebook, it's fine, but follow the show. The show name, what the story say. Me name Pauline Beard. You can follow me and friend me, but me want to go and poke the button and follow show this program, what the story say. Mm-mm. So what I got for y'all today, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my friends and all of you in What is Story Land. You know, that you have children, that you birth, that you mother, we have other mothers and so on. I have not birthed anyone, but I have many children that I taught and, engage with and so on. So I count them. All right, I get godchildren and so on. So what do I have for you today? I'm going to talk about the things my mother taught me and the things I learned. What she taught me is not necessarily what I learned because learning has a curve. What I learned as a child is not what I learned as an adult. So I know things at a certain level as a child, and as you grow older, they take on different meanings. So I have a bunch of them here to share with you. As I share, think about your own life and write in the comments what you learned from your mother that's the same or different. Good. And mind you, I'm not here to tell the whole story. It's what the story say. Bring your own story. Everything is allowed and I appreciate it. Good. First thing my mother used to say, willful waste bring woeful want. There was a little poem or a little rhyme we used to say, I must not throw upon the floor the bread I cannot eat, for many a hungry little ones will think it quite a treat. That means you mustn't throw it in, just so. If the rice at the bottom of the pot, you scrape it up, you eat it. If you can't eat it, you put it in the fridge for Bombay. And let me tell you a little secret, that think only Guyanese eat Bombay. Them a yam Bombay, yeah. Last night, we been at the cafeteria. Them had egg and spinach for breakfast the morning. Well, me not go to them breakfast, me just take dinner. And the egg and spinach come back nighttime brought forward. Yes, Japanese I eat brought forward. Me didn't know that because they like to cook fresh food like Guyana. And then when I look at the plate that got this egg and spinach, it say SDGs. For those of us who don't know, Sustainable Development Goals. They're these goals that the UN and other people set to reach by 2050 and different times. And one of the goals is to eliminate hunger. So they're preserving food. In Japan, there's a special name for that called motainai. And this Nobel Prize winner, African woman, Matai Wangari, she popularized it when she was here in Japan, doing her rounds after she got her Nobel Prize. And so that's how I first heard this terminology, motainai, means not to waste. So my mother was into the SDGs way back then. Willful waste brings woeful want. Good, that's number one. Number two, my mother believed that you should have an intimate relationship with soap and water. She said, come pour like a church rat. But once you clothes clean, you good. You must wash your clothes and wash yourself. She said, soap and water cheap. You had no reason to be nasty. Mm-hmm. And she said, for little girls, you got to wash under you. She didn't say with soap, but you got to wash yourself clean. And if you use soap, you're washing you're using the soap for wash certain part, not all up inside of day, because soap not good for day. But you can wash around the outside. Yes. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Soap and water, good. And if you don't get soap, you can use water. Because the song said, donkey soap in a dem, me go wash am. Donkey soap in a dem, me go wash am. Hey, hey. Get the calabash, wash your bembe. And wash up. Yes, some people don't wash, No. You get one bus to go Las Vegas. Ask Glenda. Yeah, and she been in Las Vegas one time. You get on the bus to go Las Vegas. All them people, stinky bamsy. So then stinky. They don't know what's what now wash. Number two. Number three, my mother say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand does. I never used to understand this thing because I don't understand how my left hand go to the right hand. That is just hand, right? But as I got older, I began to realize she was saying be discreet about certain things. You don't have to run your mouth and tell everything. We had a cousin named Cousin Juju. Cousin Juju, eyelash. You know what eyelash the bandit? Yes, eyelash mother. She used to come by at my mother and hang out and so. Well, one day, my mother had coconuts and Cousin Juju came and she asked for coconut and mother said she didn't get. And me now would tell me, mother, yes, mommy, you get coconut at the back. Mother said there's no coconut. Me tell she, yes. She said, go find it. Today, like today, but I find a coconut, Because me not know this hay. Because me mother been getting coconut for somebody else, or she not say wangi juju, and she give it to somebody else, and she not want this juju for no. But me gonna run them out and say whatever. So cousin Juju was offended because maybe mother must tell she should give she, and she not give she not know the story, but don't let this hand know. Be discreet in things. It also means as I got older, when you have certain dreams and certain big goals you're about to embark on, sometimes it might be prudent not to speak them out loud because not every ear that hears your dreams will dream with you. Some people don't dream well for you. And some people might applaud your success, but get bad envy. They get good envy and get bad envy. They don't want you to succeed at all. And so they might stymie your progress or you sabotage, things like that. So the old people that say, not every talk for talk and every nyam for nyam. That is number 3. Number 4, show me a company. I tell who you are. Well, that one was something. I used to always hear that one, but I didn't understand it until I was at Buxton Government Secondary School. And I was walking down the street with a crowd of friends. And there was this one girl, she was very, very boisterous, loud. She belched big boy. She was belch. And when she go for laugh, she cock up she foot in the hair. Beautiful girl, dressed nice, nice shape. But when you see she ready for be brawling, she brawling. She lift she legs on she holler, don't wanna laugh, don't hold she belly and hit the ground. Well, it never used to bother me until one day when she did this thing, I heard it. Show me your company, I tell who you are. And from that day, I walk a different path. I pick different company because that was not a part of what I was about or how I was raised to behave. Call it prejudiced, call it whatever. My mama says so at that. Number 5, if them knock you, knock them back. Them big like a cow, them big like a horse, them big like a house, knock them back. My mother used to tell us that. My mother's first daughter, Jem was about 6 years older than me, so I really didn't grow with her much. But I'm the eldest of 7 for my mother and my father. So I didn't have an older sibling to fight for me when I was in school at the time, right? So my mother would say, you have to defend yourself from bullies. She then by John was one for slap your school and fight you. My mother say, you got to knock them back. She get me who fold my little fist. So, fight me, some fine. And scared. And every time you say fear, me cry. Me to cry bad for everything. I mean, if you talk neither, not talk much at all. My few close friends, yes, me get a lot of mouth. But the other people, So me know how me go fight. But my mother used to send me with this warning every day. If them knock you, knock them back. My mother was not politically correct. And she said, when you knock them back, me will go to jail for you. I used to take this thing literally. So I had a fear that if I don't knock them back, I can't go home and tell my mother that me knock them back. That she could beat me. So Babington Hope got the end of the wrath of that warning because he decided for call me cat I a school, second standard, and I kick me bench with all the Biden. I kick the bench and I go on upon me and then tell me say that they will fight me. So me tell them I will fight after school. Me no for fight. Me know one thing about fighting. Me say wait till after school. And guess what? Then wait for me for fight. Oh, me no for fight. My stomach shake. I pray that Anglican school bell ring because my cousin Robert Breda go there and she used to tell Robert, the Robert Potato, for look out for me. And so I wait, so I linger, come after this done over. And I wait for Anglican bell ring. When Anglican bell ring, I walk fast. And then Babington Hope come, say, ready for fight me. Well, inside my bag I had a slate because we used to write with slate back then, not book. And since he pull up, me give whop my head. I saw Babington Hope thing. He Jack and Jill he. And so, I go home, I cry here, snacks, everything. My sister then run home and tell my mother. My mother come, she call me. So I go home, I can't talk. She hold me just so in front of she, eye to eye. She stood down. She said, what happened? Can't answer nothing. She said, then fight. She said, She said, you fight them back? She said, good. Wipe your face. She wiped my face and she go and she name me. Forget how Babington home grandmother be name. She named them on the tip of my tongue and she go right there and she tell the lady satisfaction. Because it's no back in the day when you fight, you just gotta go and give satisfaction to the people you're wrong, right? Main thing Babington Hope parents ever complained because he was in the wrong. He want to fight me. But they had to make up this story. From since that day, Babington Hope and see me and see he, and that was the end of that. So I learned I must defend myself, and I'm able to do that. Nowadays, it's very politically correct. People say you shouldn't be violent and things like that. There's time for everything. I remember I might have said this somewhere before, but I repeat this. I had read Maya Angelou's book. I don't remember the name of the book now, but I was surprised that she had an encounter, on behalf of her son with some people who were bullying him. And she borrowed a little thing and she put it in her purse. And she went over to people's house and she threatened them. She said she's gonna, the cockroach, the grandmother, the grandfather, everybody will live in the house, rat roach, everybody she's gonna, eliminate. So I thought about this. I was so surprised. I was thinking, I didn't know Maya Angelou could have that kind of thinking. So I was at the airport in Newark one time, and there I saw her coming. I just read a book and I saw her coming across the airport lounge. And I reached out to her and said hi. And I said, "Can I ask you a question?" She said, "Sure." And so I asked her, why did you put this violent thing in there? I was surprised that that was your response. And she said, "My sister, there are times when you must meet violence with violence." Number 5. Number 6, my mother gave me words and books and behaviors. So my mother used to say to me, "Do not indulge yourself in foolish talk." From a time, indulge foolish talk. Well, you know what indulge and foolish talk? That combination. So, but I'm going to tell you the reason why I could have that language, because I wasn't very social or sociable. We didn't socialize very much. So whatever my mother said, I said. What she thought, I thought, you know? And so I had this language and I joined this new school. And I had a cousin who went to that school and they were, fooling around and saying, I don't know what they were saying, but I was there. But I wasn't joining in, not because I didn't want to, I didn't know how, because I didn't, hang around with kids who did silly things like that. I didn't know how to be that kind of kid, whatever they were doing. And whatever they were saying, I was foolish enough to say, I don't indulge myself in foolish talk. Can you imagine the scandalized look on this little girl's face? But we were about 9 years old or so. Like this look like, was she a player? Was she tells herself? That kind of look. I feel that if I were on the opposite end, I would have felt so too, because I wasn't using language of a child. And so that kind of made me an outsider in many groups and a little bit antisocial, very antisocial, because I was already an introvert. And so that kind of language did not endear me to people. But I've come to realize that that kind of language positioned me for something very different, because I was verbal linguistic in terms of my abilities, my intelligences was verbal linguistic. So it positioned me to be a linguist, a language learner, all things English, all things reading and writing. It positioned me for that. I love that. So my mother gave me language, she gave me words, and I use them. Sometimes not in the right way and the right context, as happened here. That's number 6. Number 7, my mother had this habit of sitting us down, when we're just there rolling around, because she rolled around with us in the house. There were 7 of us, and we would roll around, and then she would tell us, who our family is. And she would say to us, and we were all eager. Imagine us sitting around her like little ones. And I was about 8, 9 or thereabout, as I remember. And she would say, "Now listen, your Uncle Orman is the biggest and best fisherman." That was brag for my mother. My Uncle Orman was a fisherman. Not the one that's cast net, the one that has kicked Maran out in the Atlantic Ocean and go and fish and bring back fishing boat. Yes. And blow the big shell at the Friendship Brush Dam seawall, and people come and buy fish. My mother used to big up her brother. Yes, he's a big fisherman. I'd be like, ah, the pride. And then she would start to tell us who our people are. Your father is a roller operator. He worked for Ministry of Works and Hydraulics. He built road all over Guyana. My father is a big thing to me. My father blue collar worker. Then she'll go down the line. She would say, no, look, your family, Robert Baird, pediatrician, got to school America, and Mona Baird, a dentist, and Garden Baird, orthopedic surgeon. And she'll reel it off every now and then, She even said, your auntie baby Daff is a chairwoman at the University of Guyana. And your next auntie Cecily Baird, a pro-chancellor at the University of Guyana, and the Minister of Education of Guyana. And she reel off big, small, blue collar, white collar, everybody. That was for us to pick pride and to be somebody. That's what my mother did. So when I came west and I heard young people saying, well, I didn't know who I was, it baffles me to this day. How you meaning to know who you are? You want to give a name? That's who you are. I am Pauline Felicia Baird. Mm-hmm. My name after two reputable women in Guyana. I know who I am. And it started in a home. Yeah. And there are times when I become uncertain and my feet become unsteady in this journey of life. And I can't sometimes find myself. And then I have to anchor myself and look in that mirror. You are Pauline Felicia Baird. Uncle was a fisherman. Your other uncle is an insurance agent. Your auntie was a charwoman. The other one was a doctor. That one was a nurse. That one was a school teacher. That one minister of education. Yeah. And you line them up. That's where I come from. And I think it's Cornel West that said, your roots should show you your roots. Yes, my mother gave me that. Number 7. She said, don't make your eye long for other people's thing. Get your own thing. Don't make your eye long for other people's thing. Get your own thing. And this is a story. I hope my sister and mind me telling this story. We that sit on my grandmother's porch one time, and a girl passed in the street. Now, this is not going to work. That's not going to work. A girl passed on Brush Dam, and she was wearing a kilt skirt, a nice, them reddish kilt skirt that used to come from England. That one. And my sister then said, Mommy, I like the skirt. My mother get a mad on her. My mother put a whipping on she. I even feel so bad. I said, what she beat the girl for? Just because she said she like it. My mother said, you want to like what I give you. Don't like other people thing. Don't covet other people thing and make your eye long for them thing. A little girl who eye long for thing is not good. And my mother put down she foot right then. Then was about 7, 8 or 9. They're about 8 years old. I thought it was so unfair. So unfair. But I didn't know what my mother knew. See, the thing about it is, when people are mothers, they've seen this movie before. They've seen life. They know what certain inclinations can turn to. And mothers make us. A lot of times they see themselves in us and they know what they did. They know what their inclinations were and are like. So they want to stamp it out of their children. It's my conclusion. So my sister then took her licks and she's learned to work for what she wants. And so when I was able to go to America one of the first times by her house, I walked into her walk-in closet, a whole room, I said, girl, a whole room you can't take with shoes and things. She said, yes. And all the shoes are in boxes, You think about it, she get. So I said, girl, what are they in there? She said, shoes. If you see shoes, my sister get. And she said, for everyone me get here, me get one a walk. I said, what? My sister didn't buy shoes. for all the times she not had shoes. She buy for me, for she, for all of it when I ain't got shoes. She buy the clothes that she couldn't have as a child for herself. I think my mother would have been proud that she didn't covet anybody thing. She worked hard for it, as my mother said. Don't covet and make it eye long. Get your own. That was number 8. Number 9. She used to say, go alone, come alone. Could not understand this. Not that I was inclined to go with others very often, but that was the mantra. From the time you leave the house, she would tell you, if I'm going to my grandmother's house, she would say, go straight this brush down, straight over, and go and come back. She would stand at our bridge and she would watch me all the way as far as her eye can see. And then I would cross the road carefully, go at my grandmother, collect the bread, come back. School, she said, go alone, come alone. As a child, it didn't make sense to me. But now, as an adult, I could see where my resolute self comes from. I'm a kind of person that's resolute. If I set my mind to do a thing, I will do a thing. One, dirty. Build down. This is a kind of girl I am. Dirty damn girl. Resolute. Focused. Single-minded. But those things have a backside. Kind of makes you kind of antisocial. Some people say you're a prude. Oh, yes, I was called a prude. Listen, I've been called every name in the book. So prude, yeah. What over duck's back? Because I know where it takes me and how my journey was composed. So my mother said, go alone, come alone. In a way, she wanted me to, or my siblings and I, to take responsibility for her own actions, not to be influenced unduly by others. I've been influenced by other people, and you learn your lessons for good or for bad, But in terms of our motivation to do things and our self-efficacy, that comes from going your journey as if you're a person on a mission. So that's what I got from this. Not to be going here and there and blaming everybody. Well, he did tell me that, and she did tell me that, and she did make. Nobody can make you do nothing. It's you doing it yourself. If other people are going somewhere and you go with them, it's because you follow. Yeah. Unless you're under duress, that can happen. But this is the walk for self-efficacy. Go alone, come alone. Meaning take responsibility for your actions. You're 100% responsible, for your actions. Number 9. Number 10. Manners make it man. Mankind, woman, child, everything. So with this one, we were taught to say good morning and good afternoon to people. According to my friend Cherishing, everybody, a village, a cousin, somebody. So you guys say, good morning, cousin baby. Good morning, teacher Avril. Good morning, Auntie Bill. Even if it's not your auntie or your uncle, you guys say good morning and good afternoon. And it pleases my heart so much that when I go to Guyana, children would see me on the street. Good afternoon, Miss Lady. Oh my goodness, I told Miss Lady. They see me as big woman. And I can imagine their place when I was a little one, I would say the same thing. So now Miss Lady. And they'll say good afternoon. And it's so endearing. Good afternoon, good morning. Everybody says morning. Everybody. And then you come America, you say morning, but now answer you. My time with you. But we learn manners make it man. And so you respect your elders and you respect humankind. You see humanity in them. It's a way of saying, I feel no desire to hurt you or harm you. I have no grudge against you. And even if you do, you still exercise that courtesy, right? But this thing got a flip side, as I would soon discover. Remember, I told you my mother say, go alone, come alone. Well, I didn't always do that. I learned my lesson when I was quite young, probably in fourth standard or so. I had this friend named Glona Ajidi. And Glona lived at Buxton Backdam side next to my Auntie Sibyl. But I had never gone to my Auntie Sibyl by myself. There was a cross cut at the back to go to Brush Dam, and my father used to take me through there, but I had never gone by myself. So one day after school, I head out with Glona down Buxton, Milwaukee. Me supposed to go Friendship, Milwaukee, and go Brush Dam. Me head out till a Buxton, Milwaukee. That time they had train running that time. Me cross train line. See me go on for 3 chairs on happened to me. Me cross train line with Glona. Head down back down side. Past Mason Self Service. Past Baba AUC Choir house. Them Andrews house. And end up near where Glona live. And as God would have it, guess who me see sit down at the roadside of the street, at the bridge corner? One big cousin named Mosam. Mosam sit down there with she tray, I sell shortcake and phone or whatever she sell. Me now here, but this manners make it man. You must say morning and good afternoon to your elders. Mosam see me, she know me, Me know she. She recognize me. Me go up and tell she, good afternoon, Mosam. She said, Pani. She's coming, Panin. Pani, how are you doing? Me not tell she nothing. She said, come take one sugar cake. She gave me sugar cake, me eat it. And she gave me 1 cent. 1 cent. And me hold out through the lot with trembling legs and go home. Me not pick my teeth. But me get the cent, me don't get money, so me hide the cent under one post. Me and tell mother nothing. But as God would have it to, my father left work and go back down side to visit his sister Sibyl and them, and his twin sister Sisibade, who lived near to Mozam and to this Glona. And he get the news that me been down there. But Mozam lied on me because my father come home and create one stink. Oh, me been a back down side and me beg Mozam for 5 cents. And all Mozam give me 5 cents. Mozam never give me 5 cents. To this day, me vex with she. She gone, she cold mold me vex with she. Because guess what, me get one mark for it. Because my father take out one belt. And start give me a licking. And the belt buckle catch me by my hip bone. My mother, me must say, hard so till my mother jump in the way and say, what, you kill she now? And he start beat me with his belt. But that mark in the day, that thing been going a little long for a long time. Because Miss Trewy me is hard. Miss Trewy. And the big woman lie upon me. Just because I get manners. You know, my mother didn't understand this thing got two sides. Anyway, why is number? That was number 9. Eh? And number 9 now? You think so? Oh my goodness, my people them. Yes, number 10. That was number 10, sorry. Number 11, share with others. Well, she taught us generosity to share with others, like my siblings and so on. We weren't allowed to eat without sharing my siblings. You got to love, you got to give with your siblings. To this day, we still do that. She taught us to share because, like, at harvest time, she would make a lot of vase, calabash vase, and flowers, and out of crepe paper and wax and all that kind of stuff. And she would send for the harvest time and things like that to the church. So I learned generosity. But I also learned that when you're a generous person, you can attract the wrong people, attract the users. the free riders, the freeloaders, the abusers, the takers. Um, you have to be careful. So I learned that too. Yep, that's 11. Number 12. What your hand findeth to do, with all your might. Give it 100%. Go in for it. If you put your hand to it, you're going for it. It's no pulling back. Think about what you're about and go in. If you got to pivot, pivot 100%. So this for me was a recipe for success. What your hand find it to do, I think it's a biblical thing. I think so. Do it 100%. Mm-hmm. But I also, while I think this one is a recipe for diligence and success, the resulting success, it is also a recipe for overwork. Because I can be a workaholic. And if I go in with my might, I go in. And then I would just tucker myself out. Over the years, I've learned to rein that in, to still go 100%, but pace myself. I know how to do that now. And one of the knock-on results of this doing things with all your might is to help others. So you're working with others because you think hand wash, hand make hand come clean, because no man's an island, right? So let's say on the job, you have a project to do and you're going in with your might and you need other resources. So you pull them in or they pull you in and hand wash, hand make hand come clean. But I got burned with this one because I come up with this thing, going with all your might and hand wash, hand make hand come clean. And so I was in another country working and somebody had some events and things that they were doing. And I could see where they needed help. So I would just chip in and do the parts that I see necessary. But I didn't know that I was offending this woman. I didn't know. So, she would do stuff and I could anticipate that she's going to need that, and I'm going to make sure it's available for her program to run well, until I heard her say, I rain in on our parade. I didn't even know what it means to rain on somebody's parade. And I thought, damn, this is a thing. And I also lived long enough to see where when you help too much, it can be very annoying. And sometimes helping too much can create a situation where a person can become over dependent on you. Or if a person is helping you too much, they create a situation where you become over dependent on them. And that's not always a good situation. Because when people hand you something, what is it they want back? So this thing is very complicated. As I grow older and in administration, working with people in an admin position, I could see where these things don't work very well, So it's a word of caution. So I could be very careful with how I learn and how I practice what I learned from my mother. That was number 12. Number 13. Once there's life, there's death. Now, this is a thing we learned very, very early, because we used to say this poem. I don't know if not poem, a prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Something like that. So we used to say this poem at night, this prayer at night. My mother used to say it, and then we probably learned to say it. But my brother Gavin was never comfortable with this thing. So he used to always ask my mother, Mommy, when you're dead, what will happen? And she said, you put you in she tell you the whole story, right? About being in the ground and all that. And he couldn't understand, but suppose you wake up, she said, death is asleep, you know? And he said, well, I don't want to die. She said, well, everybody got to die. That's a hard topic to talk with a child. And this by frightened ghost, he frightened zombie, he frightened shadow. I've been frightened dead like a crazy. By frightened shadow. So she used to talk to us about that. And so very, very early, she, she gave us those lessons. I don't know if they were appropriate for kids at that age, but based on what happened with our life and our life's journey, it wasn't inappropriate. It was very, very appropriate because by the time I turned 11, a little after 11, I didn't have a mother anymore. So between 0 to 11 years old, all of these, she taught us everything. She was a stay-at-home mom, and so she talked all the time, all the time. And death was not a subject that she avoided. And thank God she didn't, because we needed this from her. And so there's an added to this one. Do I have it here? I think so. Let me just check my notes. Yeah. So added to this one, I remember we were at my grandmother's place on the porch, all 5 of us. We were 7. Then the tragedy happened and we 5 remained. And we were crawling all over our mother. My grandmother used to say, Megan, why you don't let these children sit down? They're always riding you. These children, she said, we just so we get together, we just wrap up. And they would try to pry us away from our mother because we ride in with mother. Thank God we ride with mother because we didn't know that we wouldn't have one. So we were there laying on this front porch, enjoying the Atlantic breeze. My mother lie down to curl up in front of her, behind her, whatever. And soon you hear tap, 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 tap. And we looked up in the tamarind tree at the very top, and there was a woodpecker picking, pick, pick, pick. And one of us said, might have been me, I don't remember, said, Mommy, look the woodpecker picking the tree, and woodpecker does bring dead. Because there's a saying in the village, if you see a woodpecker picking a tree, it brings death. It's a sign of death. And my mother, without skipping a beat, said, well, if death comes, what are you going to do? And I remember that little exchange there. And I will remember for the rest of my life because it wasn't a few weeks later, she was gone. We all watched her go. Yep. She thought about death. Number 14. Because she was a talker, she was a messenger. She gave me tools or things to think about that I could use later in life because I never had the chance to have the man-woman conversation, the boyfriend conversation, the love relationship conversation. None of those things. Not one of those things. The only thing I knew about that even come close was when she said, she used to sit on the windowsill, the ledge by the come out. And I'm a little girl, puttering around. She would tell me, listen, you see this house and this land? Me and father buy it jointly. Me not understand what jointly mean. I had a different idea. But later on, I had cause to confront someone who insisted when I became an adult that my father doesn't have a transport for the property. And I know what my mother said. So I went to the village office and go and look it up. And sure enough, the land is in my mother and my father's name. So I paid taxes on it because number not even over land. Tal. So she gave me the knowledge about our legacy, our inheritance, and our heritage, land and people. People, you gotta talk to your children. Yes, because if you don't tell them the stories, they will lose their way and lose what belonged to them. See, Buxton is ancestral land. And if we don't teach the young Buxton children that is ancestral land that Africans bought. Somebody gonna come and tell them that they can give away the land because nobody ended upon it. Who's nobody ended upon it? Bones, blood, sweat, tears, DNA, they're right there. Books and land should not be sold to outsiders. That's my belief. If I can't live there, I'm going to give it to my sister. And I give it to my sister children. And they children. Even for free. But you got to know where your land is. You got to know where your neighbor string berry. Where your grandmother neighbor string berry. And I think in a berry, they bury right there. And where them born, right there. Right? Boxing is a very unique place. Very unique place. Boxing is like other village. Bought by African ancestors. For us, don't sell out your birthright to other people. It ain't right. So my mother told us this. She told me about property. And because she, as a woman, owned the property jointly with my father, I believe that's my right to own property jointly with my husband. My husband can get house and land in this marriage and me name and there. That all right? Because my mother already taught me that that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And in this day and age when women seemingly are disenfranchised, that's not the Buxton story. So if my husband understand, he got understand what's a Buxtonian, how I'm a Buxtonian, and what being a Buxtonian woman is about. Buxton women, before all them African women, even in America, could even see one piece of grade of grass and one piece of land in their name. Buxton women own land in their names. Yep. Harriet Thomas, Jenny Ann Scott. All these women, since the 1800s, own land. So Pauline Bear, own she land. With whatever man she married. Yes. Because my mother tell me, she and my father buy land, own it jointly. So that is my expectation from life. To be equal with man. Number 15. And this is the last one. Make your own happiness. My mother was fun. She used to make kite, carry old punch, kite with big bulls, kite singing kite, all them things. Yeah. She used to make spinner. You know, them orange juice them orange juice from Australia or England or wherever. She scrape it, like how we used to scrape it on its funny cement. You get a can, you scrape it on the cement till all the rim wear out and you get the circle. And then you take a nail and punch 2 holes. And you put in your twine and you take it up and you start spin. My mother used to make spinner. We making, she making. You get bottle cork, you flatten it up with stone. Yeah, my mother big man. All with the flattening cork too. Making spinner. When time to go in the pasture for local cricket shell, like way over brush past the hawks used to go and eat the snail out the shell. We used to go and pick up all them shell. We tramping in the mud. My mother and all of we. And we going and we making vase and things. When it come to dab the bottom house, we gonna go and pick up cow down. Yeah. And we mix it with mud. Because my mother say, soap and water clean anything. If you want to put your hand inside, just warm to you. You get dog on, you got help. You dab, she dab, you dab. Little picnic. She making tie-dye. We making too. You see, Mrs. Dark, I make she tie-dye thing and so. For my mother, we did it as kids. And Dara was 6 years old when we was born though. 6. And look at her business today. She does what my mother did. The legacies and the heritage you give your children start early. Yes. So she was a fun mother. We used to take these cans. What used to be in cans? Orange juice. We didn't have like a drinks in cans, so like that, but orange juice tin. I can't remember what else came in tins. Milk, yeah, evaporated milk. You take them candle and you get on your yachting shoes. You take your yachting boots and you stamp them can. You stamp it in the middle and it's sink in. And then you fit them into the bottom of your shoe by the heel. And you walk in with high heel shoes, caps, caps, cap. Mother do the too. We make high heel, she make high heel. So now we know for make, she make for we. So we can do and get fun like other children. She says, you have to make your own happiness. This one took me a while because with trauma in childhood, losing her and losing the house and losing the siblings, these things take a toll on you and you don't even really know yourself. So happiness was fleeting for me for quite a while. I didn't understand that I have to make my own happiness. And so it took a while to get there, to understand that happiness is found in here, whether it's in love or life or work, here. And so it was already sown in me. And so I know that I am 100% responsible for my happiness. Well, those are the things and the lessons my mother taught me and what I gathered from it. This thing's shaking because I'm on the bed, so bear with me. So, yeah, I hope you learned something from this. It's not my usual spiel, but that's what you got today. I hope you enjoyed it as you go through your Mother's Day and you're reflecting. I hope you have good memories and put into practice. The young ones who are listening, cherish your mother. Mothers are immortal. Once you're here, they're always here. And I hope you have a good mother. I think every mother has good intentions for their kids. And it doesn't always seem that way. So there's a time limit on humans. So make the most of your mother and motherhood. And for those who are having a difficult time, hang in there, whether it's child or mother or whoever. This is just a journey. This is just a journey. For those who are other mothers, I wish you well and keep doing what you're doing. The other mothers are the teachers at school who are giving pencils and counseling and loving on kids who seem to lose their way or need some loving, those who need all kinds of support. It's so important in our community. And I know for sure, just watching my siblings and friends and so on, it's a very trying endeavor. And I say hats off to you guys. So before I leave, what the story say is on Sunday evenings at the end of May, May 26th, Independence Day, Guyana Independence Day, we have an option for you. We will have Book It. Book It is a literary arm of What the Story Say, where we celebrate an author and his or her book. This month, and we're having the own Dion Glasgow Douglas from Our Story Gap Melody. Dion's going to come on with her book, Diaspora Musings. You're in for a treat because she just threw down. So it's poetry, it's learning, it's growth. So bring the children, bring the young ones. If you can join the Zoom, you're going to see it live on Facebook. You can always go back and watch it, but we want you to come. The book is $4.99. It's an ebook. You can just buy it on Amazon. You can read it on your phone. You can read it on your tablet. Listen, it's cheap. See? So everybody can buy their own. And when you buy it, you can read it and enjoy it, and then you can come and we can talk. But if you don't buy it, you can still come. You want to hear what we're talking about, right? but I encourage you to do that. It's only $4.99 and it's very, very affordable. If you have one already, buy one for a young person. It's a nice book. Or buy one for someone. Give a gift. Okay. What else I gotta say? Yeah, 44,000 watching. Like, follow, subscribe. This same program is on YouTube as well. 646 people subscribe. Almost 1,000. Almost 1,000. Yes, ayawa good.